On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, World War I finally came to an end after 4 devastating years. This day, known as Armistice Day, became a national holiday in many countries, a solemn day to remember the 9 million soldiers and 7 million civilians who lost their lives during the Great War, which was once called the War to End All Wars. When we think of wartime heroism, our minds often go to the brave men who fought in the trenches along the front lines. But heroes came in many forms during those long, brutal years of conflict. At a time when women were rarely allowed to serve in the military, their contributions to the war effort were often overlooked. Yet, their courage and determination played a crucial role in shaping history. Today, we're sharing the stories of 9 extraordinary women who deserve to be remembered for their incredible efforts, from smuggling wounded soldiers to safety, spying for the Allies, establishing hospitals, and even negotiating for peace. These women remind us not only of the horrors of war, but also of the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Let's honor their legacy and ensure their stories are never forgotten. When you think of a socialite, you might imagine someone focused on glamour and luxury. But Julia Hunt Catlin Park Depew Taufflieb was anything but frivolous. This American socialite became a symbol of generosity and courage during World War I, inspiring an entire nation with her selfless actions. After the death of her first husband, Taufflieb moved to France and purchased a country home, the Chateau d'Yonne. When the war broke out, her peaceful retreat soon found itself dangerously close to the front lines. Instead of fleeing, Taufflieb transformed her chateau into a 300-bed hospital for Allied soldiers, funding the entire operation with her own money. Her initiative didn't stop there. Taufflieb's actions inspired other wealthy Americans living in France to open their own military hospitals. She also used her connections in the United States to raise the equivalent of $85,000 today, providing critical support to the 1,500 refugees, mostly women and children living nearby. For 4 years, Taufflieb ran the hospital under constant threat of attack, often working while under fire. Her bravery and dedication were unwavering, even when the German advance forced her to flee. In recognition of her extraordinary service, Taufflieb was awarded France's highest military honors, the Légion d'honneur and the Croix de Guerre. She was the first American woman to receive either award. Julia Hunt Catlin Park Depew Taufflieb's story is a powerful reminder that true heroism knows no boundaries. She turned her privilege into purpose, proving that even in the darkest times, one person's actions can inspire countless others. In the chaos of World War I, near the battlefields of France, often with shells exploding around her, Grace Banker led a team of 33 women who became the lifeline of Allied communications. They were the Hello Girls, the first group of U.S. Army Signal Corps telephone operators, and their work was nothing short of heroic. At the time, communication between Allied forces relied on a fragile, battle-rigged telephone system. But there was a problem. Local operators rarely spoke English. To solve this, U.S. General John Pershing called for multilingual women to serve as switchboard soldiers. Grace Banker, a switchboard instructor at Addams, was one of the first to answer that call. With her telephone unit number 1, Banker operated switchboards under unimaginable conditions: artillery bombardments, German air raids, and the constant threat of danger. During the St. Mihiel and Meuse-Argonne offensives, her team worked tirelessly to keep the lines of communication open. At the peak of the war, the Hello Girls were connecting an astonishing 150,000 calls a day. In total, 223 American women served in this critical role, ensuring that Allied forces could coordinate and strategize effectively. After the war, Grace Banker was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal for her bravery and leadership. But despite swearing the Army oath and being subject to military discipline, the Hello Girls were denied veteran status and benefits by the Department of War. It wasn't until 1977, after decades of advocacy and petitions to multiple presidents, that the Hello Girls were finally recognized as veterans and given the honor they deserved. Grace Banker's story is a testament to the courage and resilience of women who served on the front lines of history, even when their contributions were overlooked for far too long. Edith Cavell didn't start her nursing career until she was 30, but her unwavering dedication to helping those in need would ultimately lead to her tragic end. This British nurse became widely known for her exceptional skills, and in 1907, she was recruited to lead a new nursing school in Brussels. When World War I broke out in 1914, Cavell made it clear to her nurses that their duty was to remain neutral. As biographer Diana Sahami noted, Cavell told her team, "Any wounded man must be medically treated. Each was equal at the point of need." Even after the Germans invaded Brussels, Cavell chose to stay. She continued to care for the wounded, whether they were German soldiers or Allied troops. But her loyalty to the Allies couldn't be ignored. She joined a secret network dedicated to smuggling wounded British and French soldiers to safety, risking everything to save lives. Unfortunately, her efforts were discovered. Cavell was arrested, charged with treason, and sentenced to execution. Despite international pleas for mercy, she was executed by firing squad on October 12, 1915. Her death sparked global outrage and became a rallying cry for the Allies. Many saw her as a martyr, with one Allied journalist comparing her to Joan of Arc. What Jeanne d'Arc has been for centuries to France, Edith Cavell will become to future generations of Britons. But Cavell's legacy goes beyond her sacrifice. She played a pivotal role in modernizing nursing, transforming the perception of nurses from kindly ladies by the bedside to skilled medical professionals. Her courage and compassion continue to inspire generations, reminding us of the power of humanity even in the darkest times. Jane Addams was a women's rights activist, a pioneering social reformer, and the first American woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. But her dedication to peace and diplomacy once earned her the title of the most dangerous woman in America. Addams is also known as the founder of social work. In 1889, she co-founded Hull House in Chicago, one of the most famous settlement houses in the United States. But her greatest challenge began with the outbreak of World War I. In 1915, Addams was elected national chair of the Women's Peace Party and presided over a meeting of 1,200 peace activists from 12 nations at The Hague. This meeting marked the first major international effort to mediate between the warring nations. Addams traveled across Europe, meeting with leaders and urging them to sign a non-aggression pact to end the war. However, her commitment to peace made her a target of harsh criticism during the war's nationalist fervor. After the U.S. entered the war, she was even accused of being unpatriotic. But when the war ended, public opinion shifted. Addams regained support for her work with the newly formed Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, where she campaigned to ban the use of poison gas, a horrifying weapon revealed during World War I. By the time she received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1931, Jane Addams was once again celebrated as a global role model. Her life stands as a testament to her own words. True peace is not merely the absence of war, it is the presence of justice. Louise Thuliez was a French schoolteacher whose life took a dramatic turn when her village, Saint-Ouen-le-Valley, was invaded during World War I. What began as a simple act of kindness, helping wounded British soldiers left behind during the evacuation, quickly turned her into a key figure in the resistance. By early 1915, Thuliez was actively escorting soldiers to a nursing home run by Edith Cavell, where they could safely plan their escape. The two women worked closely together, risking their lives to save others. However, in July 1915, increased German surveillance led to Thuliez's arrest, along with Cavell's. Like Cavell, Thuliez was sentenced to death. But thanks to international outcry, her sentence was commuted to life in prison. She spent the remainder of the war enduring harsh conditions, yet she never lost her spirit. In small but defiant acts of rebellion, she sewed buttons on military uniforms so loosely that they would fall off, undermining the enemy's efforts. After the war, Thuliez was honored with France's highest awards, the Légion d'honneur and the Croix de Guerre. She also wrote her autobiography, sharing her incredible story with the world. But her bravery didn't end there. During World War II, Thuliez returned to resistance work, helping Allied soldiers escape from occupied France. When asked why she took such risks, her answer was simple and powerful. Because I am a French woman. Louise Thuliez's life is a testament to courage, resilience, and unwavering patriotism. She risked everything for her country and its people, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. Scottish doctor Elsie Inglis was a trailblazer in medicine and a force to be reckoned with during World War I. Not only did she play a crucial role in treating wartime epidemics, but she also helped change attitudes toward women in the medical field. When the war broke out, Inglis had already been running her own medical practice for 20 years. A dedicated suffragist, she had long dreamed of hospitals staffed entirely by women. So she reached out to the British War Office, offering a ready-made, women-only medical unit for the war effort. The response? "My good lady, go home and sit still." But Inglis was anything but deterred. She founded the Scottish Women's Hospitals for Foreign Services (SWH), raising significant funds to support her vision. The French government quickly recognized her expertise and offered her a 100-bed hospital in the Abbey of Royaumont. As casualties from the Battle of the Somme poured in, the hospital expanded to over 600 beds. Inglis didn't stop there. She led another unit to Serbia, where a devastating typhus epidemic had killed 16% of the population. Her team worked tirelessly to treat the sick and wounded. In 1915, she was captured by enemy forces but was released thanks to the intervention of US diplomats. Undeterred, she traveled to Odessa, Russia, to establish another SWH team. Tragically, Inglis was diagnosed with cancer in 1916 and passed away soon after. She didn't live to see the full impact of her work. Over 1,000 women served in 14 SWH medical teams across 7 countries, saving hundreds of thousands of lives. The day before her death, Inglis told her niece, "It will be grand to start a new job over there, although there are 2 or 3 jobs I should like to have finished here first." Elsie Inglis's legacy is one of courage, determination, and groundbreaking change. She proved that women could not only excel in medicine, but also lead in times of crisis, leaving an indelible mark on history. Julia Catherine Stimson was an American nurse whose dedication to saving lives during World War I made her a trailblazer in military history. Not only did she serve with unwavering commitment, but she also became the first woman to achieve the rank of major in the U.S. Army. Stimson initially dreamed of becoming a doctor, but her parents encouraged her to pursue nursing instead. When the United States entered the war in 1917, she joined the Army Nurse Corps and quickly rose through the ranks. She became the chief nurse for Base Hospital 21, where her leadership skills shone. In 1918, Stimson was appointed head of the Red Cross Nursing Service and later became the chief nurse of the American Expeditionary Forces, overseeing an astounding 10,000 nurses. Her exceptional service earned her 2 of the highest honors, the United States Distinguished Service Medal and Britain's Royal Red Cross. After the war, Stimson continued to break barriers. She was promoted to major and became the superintendent of the Army Nurse Corps and the first dean of the Army School of Nursing. Her work helped elevate nursing to the status of a respected profession. Even in retirement, Stimson's dedication didn't waver. When World War II began, she was recalled to active duty to assist with recruiting efforts. Her additional service led to her promotion to full colonel shortly before her death in 1948. Stimson's legacy is one of courage, leadership, and innovation. Her pioneering spirit inspired countless women to follow in her footsteps. In a letter to her family from the ship taking her to France, she wrote, "Don't you worry about me one least little bit. I am having the time of my life and wouldn't have missed it for anything in the world." Julia Catherine Stimson's story reminds us of the power of determination and the impact one person can have on history. She was a true trailblazer, paving the way for future generations of women in nursing and beyond. In the heart of World War I Belgium, a young nurse was quietly working to gather intelligence for the Allies, all while hiding in plain sight. Marthe Cnockaert knew the horrors of war firsthand. In August 1914, German troops invaded her village and burned her home to the ground. Determined to make a difference, she used her nursing skills to secure a job at a German-run hospital, even earning an Iron Cross for her service. But in 1915, her life took a dramatic turn. She was approached by Lucille Deldonck, a family friend and British intelligence agent, who recruited her into an Anglo-Belgian spy network. Cnockaert's roles as a nurse and a waitress at her parents' cafe brought her into close contact with German military personnel. Fluent in multiple languages, she easily gathered critical information and relayed it through the spy network. Cnockaert didn't stop at espionage. She also engaged in sabotage. However, one mission went awry. While planting dynamite in an abandoned tunnel beneath a German ammunition depot, she lost her engraved watch. This small mistake led to her arrest. Identified and charged with espionage, she was sentenced to death. But thanks to her earlier recognition with the Iron Cross, her sentence was commuted to life in prison. After the war, Marthe Cnockaert didn't fade into obscurity. She wrote a memoir about her daring exploits as a spy and even authored several spy novels. Reflecting on her journey, she wrote, "Because I am a woman, I could not serve my country as a soldier. I took the only course open to me." Her story is a testament to the courage and resourcefulness of women who defied expectations and risked everything for their countries. Marthe Cnockaert's legacy lives on as a reminder that heroism comes in many forms, even in the quiet, unassuming role of a nurse-turned-spy. Flora Sandes was a woman who defied conventions at every turn. The youngest daughter of an Irish family, she became the only British woman to serve as a soldier in World War I, a role she embraced with unmatched courage and determination. From a young age, Sandes loved activities like horseback riding and shooting, which set her apart from the expectations of her time. When the war broke out, she traveled to Serbia and initially joined the Red Cross. But when a Serbian soldier saw her riding skills, he suggested she enlist as a soldier instead of a nurse. Sandes was thrilled, telling a friend, "I've always wished to be a soldier and to fight." In 1915, she became a private in the Serbian army. Her bravery on the battlefield was undeniable, but in 1916, her journey took a dramatic turn. During combat, she was severely injured by a grenade. Reflecting on the moment, she later recalled, "I caught the little sergeant who had helped carry me watching me with his eyes full of tears. I assured him that it took a lot to kill me and that I should be back again in about 10 days. Though her injury prevented her from returning to the front lines, Sandes was far from finished. She was awarded the highest decoration of the Serbian military and promoted to the rank of sergeant major. For the remainder of the war, she ran a hospital, continuing to serve with the same dedication she had shown on the battlefield. At the war's end, Sandes was commissioned as an officer, making her the Serbian Army's first female officer. Her wartime experiences left a lasting impression on her. She once said, "I felt neither fish nor flesh when I came out of the army. For 7 years, I lived practically a man's life." Flora Sandes' story is one of defiance, bravery, and an unyielding spirit. She shattered gender norms and proved that courage knows no bounds. Her legacy lives on as a testament to the power of breaking barriers and living life on one's own terms. From the trenches to the hospitals, from secret spy networks to the front lines, these 9 extraordinary women redefined courage during World War I. They weren't just witnesses to history, they were makers of history. Jane Addams, Grace Banker, Edith Cavell, Marthe Cnockaert, Elsie Inglis, Flora Sandes, Julia Stimson, Julia Taufflieb, and Louise Thuliez. Each of them faced unimaginable challenges, yet they chose to stand tall, fight for what was right, and save countless lives. Their stories remind us that heroism knows no gender, no boundaries, and no limits. They prove that even in the darkest times, one person's courage can light the way for millions. Now it's your turn. Which of these women inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you believe their stories deserve to be remembered, share this video and help us honor their legacy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another story of courage, resilience, and hope. Together, let's keep their spirits alive. Because history isn't just about the past, it's about the lessons we carry forward.